Good thing is what?
Well, I'd like to take this opportunity to high school street.
Wow, I like that.
Well, you know what? Why don't you tell us some of your secrets?
How did it last for 50 years?
Tell me so I'll know what to do.
Prayer.
Prayer? Keep them in prayer and keep your hand on the head. Okay, I got it. To say congratulations, first of all. And it's a pleasure to have the opportunity to share in this momentous occasion for 50 years. And how old am I? Oh wow, I got a long ways to go, but I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get there. And it's a pleasure knowing these two. Met them quite a few years ago. They all grew up in the same area as my husband. And it's just a pleasure having to know them and to be able to share this moment with them. So I want to say congratulations on behalf. Sorry Mr. Gatling couldn't be here. He had other obligations, but I had to kind of leave him with his obligation and fulfill this part of our obligation to you, to be here to celebrate your golden anniversary. God bless you and may you see 50 years. He did say he would be at the next one. He's going to be at the next 50th celebration.
I just want to say congratulations.
And introduce yourself.
My name is Velma Holloman. I'm from North Carolina, Ahoskie, which is not that far from Seaboard, and that's where they're from, the Seaboard Jackson area. And I just happened to be in Chicago to visit with the Gatlings, and of course my good friend Miss Gatlin, she said, you want to go to New York? And I'm like, yeah. She said, we're going to 50th wedding anniversary. And then come to find out, they were people from back home. So,
is that right?
It's really been great. I've enjoyed being here with them, and they seem to be such a fine, young, energetic couple. I don't know what they're eating or drinking or what Brooklyn is doing, but it's really taking great care of them.
First of all, it's amazing to have a 50th year anniversary for a marriage, and then you accidentally meet them from your hometown.
Right.
There's something to that, no?
And most people don't even make it to stay 5 years. And we're talking about somebody 50 years, so we know that that's the act of God. So, you know, I pray God blessings upon them, that they'll continue to live many, many more happy years of married life.
I hope the next 50 too is a little
And
cooler.
I want to be at the next 50. I promise I'll be there.
Yeah. Hopefully it's a lot cooler.
Yes. When we all get to heaven.
You also found some of your relatives too.
Yes, I did.
You found some relatives here in New York?
Yes.
The ones from Chicago you have all that reunion with?
Yes, it was. They took us over yesterday, last night, to some of their friends. And they're actually from Emporia, Virginia. And we had good dinner, some fried fish. They were really good. And one of the young ladies, she happened to be a descendant of the Parham, and I'm a descendant of the Parham, so we think that there's a connection there.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's all been good.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Okay, you from
being angry.
No, you gotta
Light all night. Call me.
You gotta say something about me. That's all you gonna say. I said something about me. Don't let me get upset before I get there.
But 15 years, I'm
But she had to do something right. Now, what are all those good, wonderful things she's been doing for 50 years?
payback for the greatness of me.
Oh, wow. Listen at you.
My dad. It was something about me.
Did you say it's all about you?
Not
It
all
was
about
something
me.
about it.
Oh.
Like I say, don't go to bed mad. Fight it out. And call me even.
I like that. Fight it out and call it even.
Yeah.
I didn't win.
Go ahead, Miss Jack.
Well, I want to congratulate you. Because I've known Georgia and Ruffin over 30 years. And they have always had my back. In the good times and in the bad. The husband, the kids, grandkids. They're always there for me. And I thank each. I thank you. I thank you. I really thank you. It has been a pleasure. But the next 50 has got to be in December, please.
It was. Yeah, but I was thinking about that Friday. That's right.
It was over 100 degrees.
That's
what
right.
Ruffin was telling us inside.
Years ago on this
Years
day.
ago.
I said the same thing Friday.
It
I
was over 100
said,
degrees.
Wow.
huh?
What's your name?
Lucille.
Lucille. And you've been here for the first 50?
Yes. I have a birthday tomorrow. I'll be 81.
81.
Wow. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, yeah. So you were at the first, you were at the actual wedding?
And we used to, she was still down in North Carolina. Her sister and I
understand she was only 15 when they got married.
no.
14?
She was playing.
That's when they're shotgun wedding.
in them 20s. We used to go from here down in North Carolina. We see Ruffin and some fella. He going to pick her up. And we said, no, come take us somewhere. She's sitting there waiting for Ruffin. And we going on our motherfucker. And Ruffin and his friends. Believe me. My oldest sister. And Ruffin came up and I didn't know he was coming. And I was in the bed. Samantha said, get up, get up. Ruffin ain't there to see you. I said, see me. I said, anybody tell me he was coming?
What was he, some type of celebrity down there, movie star or
Yeah,
something?
he was. Yeah, like he walked. I think his walk to what made me, go for him. So he has $1 million walk.
Still have it. Still
Better
have it.
Yeah,
If you
that
see him
cool
walk
walk.
down the street,
Uh-huh.
He has $1 million and don't have a dime. Don't tell her that.
You have a dime, right?
She got that from my father.
Your father, you said, father said, you won't like I have $1 million but don't have a dime.
Yeah, Ruffin.
He has some walk. You hear me?
You mean he got a better walk than Denzel?
No. I'm sorry, Ruffin. You got a cool walk, man. But Denzel.
Obama's got a mean walk. Obama's got a mean walk. He's got a better walk than Obama.
I think the president and Denzel kind of walk. They got the same kind of walk. But even in church, when Ruffin get up to walk to the table, I mean, he has it's just nonchalant, just
It's just
cool,
smooth,
just
smooth.
smooth.
So,
Yes, I noticed
it's
that.
Denzel. So it's Denzel, Obama, and Ruffin.
Yeah. Well, this is Ruffin
how
Day,
about-
so it
how
has to be
about
Ruffin, Denzel, and Obama.
Okay.
For today, anyway.
Okay.
And I think he's older than they are, so maybe they picked it up from him.
Oh.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's a good point.
So when I see them walking now, I'm gonna think of Ruffin.
Exactly.
Just a result. But before the casino.
So how'd you settle in Brooklyn?
Well, like,
Did you get that?
I got it. I can. come on by, come on by. Yeah, to the picture, yeah, to the picture.
That's all right, but don't come in. Don't come in, we'll try.
We'll have to stand. Ready for our entrance of honorees. Please stand. Mr. and Mrs. Ruffin Davis celebrating 50 years of marriage. Escorted by Reverend Dwayne E. Cooper and Elder Carolyn Cooper. Let's give them a big round of applause. 50 years is a big thing. Now, don't they look pretty and handsome? Georgia looks like a little princess.
Sammy.
Ecclesiastes 3:1 said there's an anointed and appointed time for everything. And there's a time for every event under heaven. So today it's Georgia and Ruffin's time. We will begin the program with the welcome by Elder Cooper.
Praise the Lord, everybody. I said, praise the Lord, everybody. Everybody that got breath needs to praise the Lord. On behalf of Ruffin and Georgia Davis, I would like to welcome you to their 50th anniversary. Let's give them a hand clap. They are so glad that you came out to celebrate this joyous occasion with them. And they want you to know how proud and how glad they are that you came. But most of all, we are glad that they stayed together for 50 years. You're welcome once, you're welcome twice. You're welcome in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you, Elder Cooper. Now we'll have the invocation and grace by Reverend Cooper, Reverend Dr. Cooper.
Good Let the church say amen. Amen. Say amen again. Amen. All honor and praises to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. He is the head of our lives. Amen. Amen. No other name can we be saved but Jesus the Christ. Amen. Amen. Oh Lord our God, our excellent is thy name in all the earth. We, your children, are gathered together to say thank you for this day. Thank you, O God, for what you have done in the lives of this, our beloved honoree today. Continue to guide them, keep them, and bless them always until. Now, Lord, bless the food which has been prepared. Nourish drink for our body in Jesus Christ, our Lord. Let us all say, amen.
Anniversary dance. Our honorees come down from the podium. At Last by Etta James. I am 30. Ruffin was saying, at last I got
her. See, we gotta get that.
Let's give the couple.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, I'm ready. Neither one of them ain't never been no good, ain't gonna never be no good. I don't like neither one, and I ain't got nothing for it. That's from Mr. KK. Now, keep that there and put it in the archives if you want. All right, Mr. KK. Oh, Lord. Okay,
I'm ready. Hi, Pooh. Congratulations on this beautiful day. I hope you have many been now for over 40 years. I'm their sister-in-law. Well, their sister was my sister-in-law, Maddie. And since we've been a family and since we got together over 40 years ago, it's been nothing but love. And I'm so happy to have them part of my family. Thank you.
Just congratulations. 50 years is a long time. I only got one 50-cent piece. 50 years I should get at least two. But enjoy the next 50 years. Frank and Daisy Johnson.
Is Daisy going to chance to say something?
He said it. He said it. I'm ready.
Happy anniversary, Georgia and Ruffin. It's been 50 years. I can't believe it. I hope to one day make 50 years myself, and you're going to be first on my guest list. Love you. Bye-bye. Here because we were classmates in high school. Yvonne, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Back to the 100th
Happy anniversary. May God bless you. Anybody should stay together for 50 years is truly a miracle from God. And so that means that He has shown His love upon you, and I hope He continue to do so. God bless you.
I hope y'all see another 50 years. Love y'all. William Carroll.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Uncle Ruff, Auntie G. Wish you many more and God's blessings.
All right, now.
I just want to say congratulations to my great aunt and great uncle, Ruffin, and I call him Cool Cat. His name is George. I just want to say congratulations to my 50th anniversary. That's it. Thank you.
Every day to day remain your friend. That is a friend. If they need you, you need them, you know you can depend on them, they can depend on you. I love Georgia like a sister. I love Ruffin. They're always in my heart, and they'll always be my friend. That's the wonderful thing. And as long as I have them, I know I have two friends. I knew from the beginning when I first met Georgia, met Ruffin, and we used to all have a good time together. I knew this day would eventually come because I never would think of it any other way. You see Georgia, you see Ruffin, you see Ruffin, you see Georgia. I mean, beautiful couple. I mean, like God said. Talking about soulmates. I love you guys.
I love you too.
Best of everything. It's a beautiful affair. The food was delicious, by the way. And I just want to I'm just glad that I'm here to help you celebrate. Many, many more happy, healthy ones, prosperous ones, as in the past. Love you, love you.
Love you.
Hello, please, everybody. Attention, please. Now, I'll tell you what happened. I was coming out here and came down to the street and I got hungry. I was going to McDonald's and I heard this boy here is going to have something up here. So I came in here to eat this lousy food. I'm sorry I came. I don't know the cook. I mean, I have been to better places to eat much better. I ate my plate full of food. I'm sorry I ate all of it. But that I did. Now, I know this boy here a long time. I know when he's shooting marbles out in the street on his knees. Boy had knickers. Boy, he never had no real shoes. He had sneakers. The young lady, I didn't know her. But I just want to tell you something. I wouldn't have been here, but some sorry guys I met over here from Flatbush dragged me in here and said, come and present yourself to these nice people. Now, I'm doing this right now. Like I told this lady right here, she think, what I tell you, where I come from is South Africa, I tell you, right? No, South Carolina. I'm in South Carolina. So I made a mistake. Like I told her I came from South Africa. She let me take this spot right here. All I want to say is, Forrest and Mrs. Davis. I got to give you a kiss first. I started thinking on the dance.
Avenue bus drivers. He wants you to make sure you know that he's retired.
Hey, thank you for wasting your time. And I'm sorry, I'm glad to be here, though, man. You know, and I'll be honest with you. Listen, I didn't know you were supposed to bring a gift, so I stopped in Burger King and got your gift card. So you can eat there for 2 weeks on me. Burger King.
Ruffin and Georgia, congratulations. Making it this far, and I'm sure you've made it this far, you'll go on further. We were at church a few years ago at Family and Friends Day, and Brother Miles and somebody else was talking. And Brother Miles said something about Mickey and Fat Gal, and I turned around, what you doing calling my cousin's name? Come to find out, they grew up with them. And then later I found out that Ruffin and Georgia came from one town over from where I came from in North Carolina. I was born in Roanoke Rapids, and they were born one town over. Like I said, congratulations. I'm glad you made it this far. And may you have many, many more happy anniversaries.
Come on, let's move it right along.
You all want to go? I'll come back up there again now, you know me. So I'm going to say something.
That's like a rich man say he ain't rich. That's like a rich man say he not rich.
Hello. I want to say congratulations to very close. That was my sister-in-law, Maddie's sister. And we met her the same time we met Maddie. And that was about years ago. And ever since then, it's been just one happy family. Her side was just as much family as my side. We did everything and enjoyed each other together. Thanksgiving, Christmas, holidays, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful relationship. And I'm just so glad that they are celebrating their 50th anniversary today. The last one I was at was my mother's, and she knew about that 50 years. And I'm just so glad to be here today, celebrating with you too. God bless.
First, I would like to say, I don't think that Mr. Gatton and I will make it to 50 years because I left a special event that he was having in Chicago to be here for their 50th anniversary. So if you don't make it, you'll know why. But my name is Marguerite Gatton, and it's just a blessing to be here this afternoon to help celebrate with these two lovely people and 50 years of dedication and commitment. Something that I believe God ordained. And He's smiling on you. He has smiled on you. And we just thank Him for this opportunity. They hinted around to me last night. Georgia did. And they even changed my name from Marguerite to I Am Redeemed, or Redeemed. And I want you to know that I am redeemed. I was bought with a price, and the man called Jesus saved my life.
And I can attest to the fact today that he went out on Calvary Cross, died that we all might have a right to the tree of life. And I thank him today for what he's done for me and for you. I'm sure he's done the same thing. You accepted him as your Savior, so you are as well redeemed. I am redeemed, bought with a price. Jesus has changed my whole life. Oh, if anybody asks you just who I am, tell them I am redeemed. I'll tell her his favor. I'll tell her my God's love. I'll tell her his goodness to me. Oh, he purchased my redemption with his own precious blood, and from sin I know that I've been set free. Where there was hate, you see, love now abides. Where there was confusion, he's no reign. I am walking with my Savior. I'm a child of the King. Oh, because I am redeemed. Oh, I am redeemed. I've been bought with a price. One day, Jesus, he changed my life. If anybody asks you if they want to know just who I am, I want you to tell them I am redeemed. Gotten out of high school. I was very young. So I guess they became like teachers. You can do, you can't do, you can go, you can't go, but you do go to work. Okay, that you do. Okay. So that was very good for me. And from there I grew, and we were close. We were always close.
I just want to tell you that I am very happy that I was accepted by you and Maddie, and that you and Ruffin has reached a place that many would hope to reach as far as their marriage goes. And somebody at my table asked me, well, what do you do? So I said to the young lady, we'll talk about that, because I really don't know. I can't tell you that. I don't know. But it had to be by the grace of God, His love, His mercy, that has kept you. And I'm really thankful and grateful for that. I pray that you continue the way you're going, and wherever it ends, it will all be good. I love you.
My name is Dennis Carroll, and I'm pretty sure they know who I am. Because I'm the only cousin really that don't know these people.
My name is Yvonne Kid Green, and Georgie was my classmate, graduating high school together. And I'm wondering if you have any more classmates here. But I'm visually impaired, so if you do, if you know me, just come up and say hello. And I want to thank you, Georgie, for just giving me the invitation to Ruffin. I look forward to seeing you when we go to North Carolina, and at when Miss Gatlin is having a program there or whatever, you're always there too. And I just thank you, and this is a beautiful day. But me and my husband got you a little bit. We have 55 years in August 25th. 4 children and 9 grandchildren. So just keep right on going. You won't catch up, but just stay there. It's a beautiful day, and I just thank God for it, and I just thank God for everybody. Thank you.
Congratulations, George and Ruffin, on your 50th anniversary. May 6th, we celebrated 40 years. And I know that you cannot get this far without being blessed by God. So He's blessed your marriage and made it possible for you to come to this point. And we hope that in 10 years, we'll be inviting you to our 50th wedding anniversary. God bless you. And thank you for inviting us to share this moment with you.
I'm not going to say nothing because my wife told me to keep my mouth shut.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Ruffin, Georgia. Oh, what can I say? We've been knowing each other a long time. So I want to say congratulations. I miss you all. Let's do a little 2 and 4. You know what I mean? anyway, congratulations. And I hope you have many, many more. Thank you. Okay? All right.
He having a problem keeping up. He having a problem keeping up with her. Right.
Is there anyone else who would like to come up and give their congratulations? Please do so.
The intro was good.
I surprised everybody. Thank you for stopping by my house yesterday, and you give me a time limit. You said, Brother Smith, you better get here before 3 o'clock. I made it. I made it. Well, it's an honor for me to stand here this evening. My heart is so full because I know what you went through to get where you at right now. God is so good until my aunt, God is her soul. I told her that I was going to marry my wife. Now, this year I'm right behind you. Next year will be my 50-year anniversary. I would like to tell all of you who is not close to 50, you're going to have some good times and you're going to have some hard times. You're going to have a lot of hills to climb. There's going to be a lot of understanding that you're going to have to understand when you don't understand. It's going to be a lot of forgiveness. You're going to have to listen to the wife, because the wife, I don't even know where I would have been if it wasn't for my wife. So beyond everything else, I have to give God thanks, because I know it was already written in the book. It's nobody, not that I'm saying that the females in the world is not good, but it's none like the one that I had. I just can't wait for my 50-year anniversary. And I want to thank all, each and every one of you for just listening to me just one moment. Dave, Georgia, you've been my friend for about 25 years. Nobody don't even know it until right now. I would like to come and put my arms around both of you. I love you.
Praise the Lord, everyone. My name is Evangelist Sheila Lewis Justy, and my husband, Minister DeCarmen Lewis Justy. We are neighbors of Ruffin in Georgia, and we are right next door. We attach homes, and we always rejoice over that because neither one of us play loud music, and we're not noisy. We're like two of the quietest house on the block. We have more, but we are like two of the quietest. So we're just so happy to be neighbors, and we look out for one another. And she go away, I look out for her home. I go away, she look out for ours. And I was there for about 12 years, and about half of those years I call her Josie. I called her that for half of those years, and she answered me like it was no problem. And when I found out it was Georgia, I was embarrassed, really. And she said, don't worry about it. And I just wanted to say that they are truly a blessed couple, and they're a role model to my husband and I because they dress so beautifully. And you always know that there's unity. There's a unit there. And where there's unity, there is strength. And I know that's why the Lord kept them together, because they have that unity between them. And God bless you both. And we all know when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing, Mr. Ruffin. And we talked about those bigger rocks that she's going to be getting. And we love you, and God bless you, and thank God for you being our neighbors. We thank God for your nephew, Duke, and your other nephew. He's not here. I think he's down south. God bless you both. We love you and have many, many, many more. We only at 14. We pray to get to 50.
Let's give God some praise this evening, church. Let's give God some praise. For 50 years, we thank God for nobody but God. First, giving all praises to my Heavenly Father, my pastor. Truly, it's just a blessing to be here, be a part of this celebration today. You know, it's one thing I can say about Brother Ruffin. When I first came to St. Anthony a few years ago, he came to me. And when he found that I was from North Carolina also, he wouldn't let me alone. I told my wife, I said that he keep asking me about something down in some parts of North Carolina. My wife said, yes, because I'm from the next town over from there. But you know, I thank God for Brother Brother Ruffin. He went down North Carolina, and I have to tell it. My wife said, don't you say nothing. But I have to tell it. And he and his wife came back with a whole handful of what were those, North Carolina. They got a special store down in North Carolina that they go down and get those good sauces and all that other good stuff down there. And he didn't forget about me. We thank God for you, Brother Ruffin, you and your wife. We know that there have been ups and downs for the first 50 years. But the second 50 years, you're going to have it easy. And we, by God's help, we'll meet back here again on your next 50 years. Let's give God some praise.
Hello, everybody. My name is William. I'm the nephew of Georgia and Ruffin. And I would like to say that one thing I remember most about them as a young man growing up in the world, I used to be about maybe 5 or 6 years old, and they used to have these little parties in their basement, in their house. And I would be the only little kid there. Every party they had, I never missed a party. I was there. And those were some of the most cherishable moments I will never, ever forget. And they've always been a role model to me and always been there for me. And I would like to say that I love y'all so very much. And I hope y'all see another 50 years. God bless.
Good afternoon, Mr. and Mrs. Davis. I know them as Mr. and Mrs. Davis from growing up. I'm a neighbor on the block. And I thank them so very much because when we moved back in 1979, my mother bought the house, and then a few months later, my mother passed away. And she always would ask for me and my sisters, my siblings at the time. And then she watched me have 3 children, she watched them grow up, and she would always ask, how are they doing? And then my father passed away, and they were there for us, her and her husband. And I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, and may God continue to bless you.
First, giving honor to our Lord and Savior, who's the head of all of our lives, to our pastor, to our First Lady, to Mr. and Mrs. Davis. I'm glad to stand here today on behalf of the men's ministry of the St. Anthony Baptist Church, where Brother Ruffin is a member of our ministry. He is the treasurer. He is the person that carries the money and takes the money. And I want to say for the last 8 years that I have been chair of the men's ministry, Brother Ruffin has been a true trooper in the ministry. And I don't have to worry about anything. If I'm not around, he will take care of the business. Sister Davis, she is the motherly type. Now this 50 years. That's a long time. My mother and father was married for 72 years. And I thought that was a long time. And my father had been dead 10 years and my mother is still kicking. So I want to say I'm in my 7th year this year in my marriage. And I hope, I don't know will I take 50, but as many as I can take, I know it's a glorious thing. I didn't catch that one. But I hope it's a glorious thing to be married for that long. Thank you.
At the corner of Empire and Utica, I would see this couple crossing the street. Georgia holding on to Ruffin. And then when my wife told me they were members of the pulpit, the pastor, I said to myself, it's a good thing. But seeing them crossing the street at Empire and Utica reminds me, those of you who studied American literature will find that Edgar Allan Poe was looking for a wife. And early in the morning, Edgar Allan Poe pulled his hand to cross the river. It is a river that has been crossed by Ruffin and Georgia. Keep crossing the river for another 50 years. The photographer told me to hug you guys.
Get a hug over there.
Praise God, amen. Let's give God some praise here. First Lady and I, St. Anthony Baptist Church, we just thank God we're able to meet everybody here today. Sister Davis and Brother Ruffin, we fell in love with you when we first met you. We first came to St. Anthony, and y'all been a tremendous blessing to us, and we pray that we can be a tremendous blessing to you. And may you continue to go on further and further as the years to come. Amen? Amen. Continue to keep God first, and I guarantee you will go further.
Congratulations, and we're using you as our mentor so that we will be celebrating 50 years one day.
Good afternoon, everybody. I just want to thank my Aunt Georgia and Uncle Ruffin for 55 years of being a good role model for the family and all. And I'm looking forward to another 50 years. And I love you.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to say I think I'm one of the ones that known them longer than anyone. And I must say this, when they say that they're good in the 50 years that they have been together, it's a wonderful thing. And everybody, I must say this. When all of us, Carol, Ben, Larry, Jimmy, and myself, which is Raymond, we all came up, and my dear aunt, which I won't call that name, someone else said, Georgia, you know, my Uncle Ruffin, they treated us just like my parents did in the South, and all of us. They raised us, took care of us, washed our clothes, and cooked for us. And they treated us very, very well. And we all have came along and retired, and all because of them. So I say bless you and God be with you. We love you.
This is the day the Lord has made. Georgia and Ruffin, on behalf of the table on the corner over there, the Lewises, table 10, the Lewises, the Carringtons, and anybody else over there that I haven't called, I ask you all to stand, please. Congratulations. We want to say that we love you. We thank you ever so much for inviting us here.
People have traveled from near and far for this occasion. And I would just like for all those out-of-towners to please stand, because I want Georgia and Ruffin to please stand. Isn't that a blessing? That's a blessing. George, I'm putting my glasses on. KK wanted to give me his glasses so I could fall down. Another tidbit Georgia gave me was never take your spouse for granted. Forgive and forget. And do things that for your mate out of love instead of obligation. I love that, Georgia. You know, if William Howard was here, and God bless his soul, he would have a joke for everyone. So I'm going to just read one, and it wouldn't be in the style that Howard would do it, but I just want you to know that he is still missed among us, and that we often think about him, and I'm often talking about his jokes. So this is one for a 50th anniversary. When Pete soon came to celebrate his 50th wedding anniversary at the church marriage marathon, the minister asked him to take a few minutes and share some insight into how he managed to maintain his marriage with the same woman all these years. The husband replied to the audience, "Well, I treated her with respect, spent money on her, but mostly I took her traveling on special occasions." The minister said, "Trips to where?" "For our 25th anniversary, I took her to Beijing, China." The minister then said, "What a terrific example you are to all husbands, Pete. Please tell the audience where you're going to take your wife on your 50th anniversary." Pete smiled and said, "I'm going to go get her." Now, you know, that's not a problem. George and Ruffin, it says on the program now, special presentation. The lives you've reached during your 50 years are extensive. Family, friends, neighbors, church members, work associates. And that's why we are here today. So we would like to present you with something very special. It is a proclamation of marriage for Ruffin and Georgia Davis on their golden anniversary. Whereas Ruffin and Georgia have been married for 50 years and have been steadfast in their love. Whereas They have managed to survive a half-century of life's ups and downs, whereas they built a legacy that can't be measured in possessions, and whereas Ruffin and Georgia are role models for commitment, for caring and sharing, and for unselfish devotion to each other. Whereas God saw fit to join them together on this day, June 30th, 1962. Therefore, on their golden anniversary, no treasure is more precious than love grown golden with time. May God continue to bless you and your love. Presented this day, June 30th, 2012, from all of your friends. It's time for the honorees to speak. You can speak from
Giving all praise to God, for He is the head of my life. And if it wasn't for Him, I wouldn't be here standing here today. And I thank God for that, for you and everybody else that's here today, for seeing all of you all today. Really, I don't know what to say, but thank all of you for coming here today, my St. Anthony family, my family, friends, and those that are not my friend, I still love you. We are so happy. I'm telling you, I don't want to cry, so I have to stop speaking or I start crying. But it's so many people are missing here today. Ruffin and I got married within our wedding. God has called them home. That's right. And I thank God for keeping Ruffin and I here for 50 years. Because it could have been him, or it could have been me, it could have been him. Mm-hmm. But I thank God that He had kept us together for this many years. Mm-hmm. Now, if you want to know how I met this man, this wonderful, wonderful guy, I have the best husband in the world. Amen. Okay. I met Ruffin when I started high school. He went to another school, and I went to a different school too. So when I went to his school, I looked at him. You know how we are in our teenage stage, at the boys. And so my sister, she started high school before I did, so I would come home. I said, "Who is that fellow boy over there? Who is that one who is that?" She said, "No, and I need you to try to get him because he has a girlfriend already." I said, "Yeah." So finally one night I was home and I was in bed, and his friend was dating my sister, and they came to my house, our house, and Ruffin came up, and I had no idea how I got to him that I had my eyes on him. Oh, so I was in bed, man. I said, "Get up! Somebody here to see you." I said, "Somebody here to see me?" I said, "Who could it be?" So I got in bed and dressed. And here Ruffin, it was Ruffin there. And ever since then, we have been dating. I met Ruffin who was in the 10th grade. Oh, wow. We dated for 9 years before we got married. So we've been knowing each other for 59 years, really, right? It was something about his walk. Looked at him on the school bus and he had to walk to school, and I just see him straight down the street. He looked like he had $1 million and his father said he didn't have a dime. But anyway, I'm glad I married him. He's my husband. And let me tell you a little something about him. Ruffin, you know I love you. Since I've been married to Ruffin for 50 years, he really is a man. When I say in charge, the head of the household, he is one. Okay? 50 years I've been married to Ruffin. I never had a phone call to say your rent has to be paid. You're late in your rent.
I never had the telephone come to call and say, if you don't pay your telephone bill, your telephone will be cut off.
Hey, all right.
I never had the gas company say your gas company was
Yeah, right.
household.
Yeah.
I didn't have to worry about anything, just
That's
say you
right.
pay George and my bill.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Uh-huh.
Now Raymond, Jerry, Carol, my nephew, as he said, they stayed with us for so many years until they, got married and got on their own. When they came to live with us, Ruffin put his foot down. He said, you can come here to live with us, but if I come home and my wife be upset with what you all have said to her, you getting out of here.
All right. All right.
And he been saying that all these many years. But I thank God for him because he is the best thing that ever happened to me besides. God is number one.
All right.
And he is next.
All right.
Okay?
All right.
So I just love him. I have to love him.
Yeah.
Yes, we had some ups and downs, but I thank God that he kept us together. He could have been one way and I could have been another way. But I'm so glad that I knew the Lord and he did too. And he brought us together. So that's why we're standing here today for 50 years.
All right.
Okay, I love all of you all and God bless you. First of all, I want to recognize my family. Will all my family stand up, please? Okay, I have my pastor here, Reverend Cooper and Elder Cooper from my church. My church family, you please stand. And all my other friends, Mrs. Gatlin and her friend, please stand. They come to Chicago. Thank you so much. You made my day. Thank you for coming. And God bless each and every one of you all, and I hope you have get home safe. Did y'all enjoy the food so far?
God for everybody present coming out to help us celebrate this anniversary. Look, 50 years. It's 50 years.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can have a little problem. They told me, say, don't go to bed mad. Fight all night, get it tomorrow, and call it even. It wasn't no winner, so you're not going to go separate ways. So you might as well stay and split the day tomorrow going to bring. I have no complaints about my marriage, but I had some situation in life that I was like handicapped. I lost my vision. And my wife stepped up. I didn't lose any other situations. She stood up as a man, took care of my business, took care of me, took me places. I never stopped traveling. I went places. I got some great nephews in there. Her nephew is living in my building. When I say move, he moved. I got a couple other nephews over here, my sister's son. I say move, but it wasn't that move. But when I call on any of them, I don't get there's no answer like no. What time, when you want me to be there, where you want to go. So I'm blessed for all of that I have a family like that, that will stand up for me. And I know my family love me. I love my family. And stand up again and say too, I never had no in-law problems. My mother-in-law, my father-in-law believed what I was gold. And when I go south, he started jumping. And we had a lot of fun. We got my father-in-law, my mother-in-law. I never forget, my mother-in-law told me, say, Ruffin, brought a grave plot at Ronald Sim Church it's space for 12 bodies. And I want you to be buried there. And God has blessed me that I'll be buried there. I have a mausoleum there to hold 2 bodies. So when my day ends, I'm very cool. If you get along with me, so you could maybe do my eulogy and run 7 bucks. Take my body, and say Anthony, but take my body to North Carolina. Yeah, Long 7 Cemetery, and my wife also. So I'm really blessed. So the 50 years have been hard, haven't been bad. You know, like if you're good, you're loved by everybody. And my father was a sharecropper. He raised hogs. He raised hogs. He cured meat. And he said, once if you season the ham and season it right, it'll last forever. God bless you.
Ruffin, that was the best closing speech I've ever heard. That was beautiful. Your father made a great statement. All right, now we're going to get ready for the honorees to cut the cake.
Good. No, you're good right there. Okay. She not gonna smash with the kid? Once you're married, you can't smash it. South Africa. Who you trying to get? Look at the picture of the workers.
We're going to take pictures by the cake.
Ruffin said she bring all the envelopes in the house and they become his. Because he's the man of the house. All right, our toast to the happy couple is being given by Mr. John Walker. John, do I need to get a wheelchair for you? John just had knee surgery. So we're going to welcome Mr. Walker, who has known the Davises for quite a few years.
Okay, let's have this thing. Let's do this. Do it real, real good. My name is Johnny Walker Black. He's a my friend, you know. Been like that for over 45 years. You know, I met this guy, and he introduced me. I introduced him to him, and he introduced me to my wife, just by his house, and met his wife. And we've been like family for over 40-some years. Okay? But what he failed to tell you, but he's talking about seasons apart, but that ain't what he told me. You understand? He told me once he sees the ham, it's seasoned forever. And I'm thinking about it, one of them hickory smoked Virginia ham. But it was Georgia ham all the time. Yeah, right. Now, okay, the 50th anniversary is a milestone in a marriage. Make it a life together and have been well lived, committed, full of joy, such as it will be separated, Georgia and Ruffin. One reason the celebration of a wedding anniversary by family and friends is so joyful and occasional is that it shows the rest of us that lasting happiness is inedible and that it does not come by luck, but by prayer and trusting and believing in each other. Okay? A marriage is like a person. It started out young and grow with time, in wisdom and understanding. It gets better with age. And this marriage certainly has. Ruffin and Georgia, if you guys could just sell the secret, boy, you would be rich. Well, we got a little poem here. It says, it's your golden wedding anniversary. And it make me so happy to say, through the years, I got to know you well. And I'm proud to applaud you today. Okay? Now, your union of golden is 50 years and uncomfortable, hard to achieve. I hope you will flourish as more years go and whatever you want come your way. Okay, now we're going to toast this glass. Now, would everybody stand and raise your glass, please? That's mine. We got our glass, we all standing. The glass to the couple and celebrate the 50 years today. To Georgia and Ruffin, congratulations. And when you make the next 50 years, I hope, I'm not listening. I hope that would be a toast like this. Thank you. Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
I just want to say something I forgot to mention. One special friend, I have quite a few, but during this my 50th anniversary, I had to say my sister, my friend, Doris Wilson. When I called her and asked about getting these invitations out and where I should go, where I could go to get them done, she said, Georgia, ain't no problem. I will help you do them. And she did. I'll go to her house sometime in the morning. We wouldn't get back to 8 o'clock at night. And her husband, Al, I know he got tired of me and Ruffin. I'm telling you, they all helped. Ruffin, he helped. He put his hand in it too. It wasn't all the ladies. Sister Walker and John, my nephew, you all were there for us. And I just want to say thank you, and I love you, and God bless you.
Hey, Frank, you know she ate my cake. You know she ate my cake.
Before they do the cup.
She was a little baby. This is my goddaughter right here, Sheila, which was my best man's daughter. Okay, you're going to go back to the party.
Can we have, after the picture, we want the honoree couple to lead everybody in the lead dance. All right, to celebrate, please get up, please get up. All those married couples that was in here announcing their anniversaries, let's go.
Hey, dance.
I'm so glad oh girl, I like what you like what I like. We were made.
You from here? Walk around, stabilize it.
I've been looking all my days. Don't you ever think about leaving? Would be
All right, party people, we got about a half hour left of party time. Come on, party people, get up here on the floor. We got about a half hour party time. I want to see everybody up on the floor doing this thing. Yeah, we need a little more. Why are all the ladies always doing the electric slide? Where are the gentlemen at? Let's go. All I ever see is ladies doing the electric slide. Every party I go to, let's go. But I want to see some more ladies. Let's go. Dig up here. Let's dig up here.
Everybody clap your hands. Come on, y'all. Check it out, y'all. We're gonna get funky. Funky. Everybody clap your hands. Clap your hands. Clap your hands. All right, now, we're gonna do the basic step. To the left. Take it back now, y'all. One hop this time. Right foot, let's go. Left foot, let's go. hop this time. Right foot, 2 stumps. Left foot, 2 stumps. Slide to the left. Slide to the right. Crisscross. Crisscross. Cha-cha, real smooth. Let's go to work. To the left. Take it back now, y'all. 2 hops this time. 2 hops this time. Right foot, 2 stumps. Left foot, 2 stumps. Hands on your knees. Hands on your knees. Get funky with it. Oh, yeah. Come on. Cha-cha now, y'all. Turn it out. To the left. Take it back now, y'all. 5 hops this time. Right foot, let's stump. Left foot, let's stump. Right foot again. Left foot again. Right foot, let's stump. Left foot, let's stump. Freeze! Everybody clap your hands. Come on, y'all. Check it out, y'all. How low can you go? Can you go down low? All the way to the floor? How low can you go? Can you bring it to the top? Like it never stop? Can you bring it to the top? 1 hop. Right foot now. Left foot now, y'all. Cha-cha, real smooth. Turn it out. To the left. Take it back now, y'all. 1 hop this time. 1 hop this time. Reverse. Reverse. Slide to the left. Slide to the right. Reverse, reverse. Reverse, reverse. Cha-cha now, y'all. Cha-cha again. Cha-cha now, y'all. Cha-cha again. Turn it out. To the left. Take it back now, y'all. 2 hops, 2 hops. 2 hops, 2 hops. Right foot, let's stump. Left foot, let's stump. Charlie Brown. Hop it out now. Slide to the right. Slide to the left. Take it back now, y'all. Cha-cha now, y'all. Turn it out. To the left. Take it back now, y'all. 3 hops this time. Right foot now. Left foot now, y'all. Cha-cha now. Turn it out. Be looking out for part 3. It's gonna be coming to you soon. Right now.
Come on, you dancing, you here to celebrate, get on the dance floor and celebrate. Everybody just start to dance to slide music, let's go, get on the dance floor and celebrate.
So bring your good times and your laughter too. We gon' celebrate your party with you. Come on now. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. Celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you.
got one done? You all right? You happy with that, right? Yeah, I hear you. Oh, Maynard he had both of these done. Yeah. So he had one done 1 year, and like 18 months later he went back to the other one. That must be a bus helmet, huh? I'm amazed. Hey, you on good behavior today? What happened? Oh, you on good behavior? Okay. They give you a check? Who's on the floor? Nobody? Hey, what happened?
We've been mute and we've been scarred. We've been big bad talking about. Come on. Just as you as it takes 2 eyes to make a pair. Brother, we can't quit until we get our shit.
Hey!
Say it now.
That's James Brown! That's James Brown!
Say it now. One more time. Say it now.
Lisa! Hey!
I wasn't on y'all.
That's James Brown!
In my hand.
I like it.
No other work I did before the other man. Now we are men of chance. We do things for ourselves. We're tired of beating our head against the wall and working for someone else. Say it now. Say it now. Say it now. Say it now.
a set going strong, a lot of things going on. The man of the hour has an air of great power. The dudes have envied him for so long. Oh, Superfly, you're gonna make your fortune by and by. But if you lose, don't ask no questions why. The only game you know is do or die. Hard to understand, but a hell of a man. This cat of the slum had a mind, wasn't dumb. But a weakness was shown, cause his hustle was wrong. His mind was his own, but the man lived alone. Ooh, Superfly, you're gonna make your fortune by and by. But if you lose, don't ask no questions why. The only game you know is do or die. The game he plays for keys. Hustling times in ghetto streets, trying to get over. That's what he trying to do, y'all. Taking all that he can take, gambling with the odds of fate, trying to get over, trying to get over, trying to get over, trying to get over. Ooh, Superfly. The aim of his role was to move a lot of blow. Ask him his dream, what does it mean? He wouldn't know. Can't be like the rest, it's the most he'll confess. But the time's running out and there's no happiness. Ooh, Superfly, you're gonna make your fortune by and by. But if you lose, don't ask no questions why. The only game you know is do or die. Superfly, 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 Superfly. Trying to get over, trying to get over, trying to get over, trying to get over.
Well, it's not far down to paradise, at least it's not for me. If the wind is right, you can sail away and find tranquility. Oh, the canvas can do miracles, just you wait and see. Believe me, it's not far to Never Never Land. Reason to pretend